Years ago, your independence wasn't allowed. Only good for cooking and cleaning up the house. Only known for being a housewife wearing gowns. Went from dependent to the most independent girl around. You're disciplined with your diligence, I respect that. Equal rights for the sexes, we all accept that. Random guys with her number, she might expect that. But if he's not on this grind, she might reject that. It takes a boss day to boss lady. Got what it take to date a boss, baby. Yeah, growing sexy, that's the boss lady. Know how to carry yourself if you're a boss lady. Do whatever to succeed if you're a boss lady. You gotta practice what you preach if you're a boss lady. You gotta get it on your own if you're a boss lady. You gotta always hold your own if you're a boss lady. Respect and let that work. Make your own money so you could invest in yourself. Don't let nobody hold you down. You could invest in yourself. Stay strong from the ups and the downs.
Boss Lady News. We've got a great show for you today, as we always do. You know you can feel free to go to BossLadyNews.com to check out any of my previous episodes, BossLadyNews.com. Also, check out all of the awesome new things that are going on throughout the New England area and some of the brand new people that we're getting to meet. As we normally do, we always have a 5-minute performance, and the 5-minute performance is going to be done by 4-Star Dance Studio. I thought you should get to know them. And now, as we normally do, we're going to go ahead and get into some news right now. I like to talk about politics, however, I'm not a politician and I am not interested in politics regularly. However, we all know that there's going to be quite a change happening in 2016, which is the next presidential election. And I don't want to say who I'm voting for. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, as I always do. It's very important to let you all know to make sure you're registered voters. Whether you're here in Massachusetts or in Washington, D.C., make sure you're a registered voter, because if you are not a registered voter and you go to vote, your vote will not count. And we all know, according to the Constitution, that your right to vote actually allows you to also input your opinion into what the politicians should be voting for. As of right now, the White House is majority Republican with 219 seats, and then minority Democrat. And with that being the case, you would imagine that they have a voice to speak on their behalf. Mr. Boehner was actually trying to leave the office. However, he was not able to, because the Republicans have not chosen a speaker on their behalf. However, once again, they are majority of the House votes. I wanted to let you all kind of know the way that House votes go. When you vote for someone within your state to be your representative and to sit in the White House on your behalf, you're also pulling in the number of constituents that that person is representing. The larger states, obviously, would have larger amount of constituents. Those are us, the citizens that are voting for certain laws or for certain things to change, for laws to be changed or turned over. And it's very important that people are not just voting for the president. And I think all of the individuals out there that might not agree with any particular president, you have to keep in mind that the president has other individuals that are putting in their input. He is only the executive branch of the government. There's a legislative branch of the government as well. And if you're not voting for all of the people in each one of those seats, then you're really losing out on the best parts of you voting in certain laws and voting out other laws. One thing I also wanted to go over was the educational system here in the United States compared to overseas. As of right now, 13% of American high school students are actually dropping out of high school. And every person that has ever ran for president has always discussed the educational system and how they want to make those changes for our young people and for ourselves. We even have elderly individuals that are going back to school. My feelings towards college right now are very indifferent to what others may expect. I am for education, very much so. However, I am also for people understanding all of what comes with getting into a college or university. When you apply for college, you're also applying for different kinds of financial benefits, whether it be grants, loans, or scholarships. One of the things that people do not let you know is when you apply for college and then you get all of these mass opportunities to inquire or to receive loans, those loans are what actually puts you into what's considered student debt after you graduate. Majority of people who go to college and then graduate are essentially in student loans for the next 20 years, which means you're paying off for your school education, your continued education, for the next 20 years of your life because of the interest that is added on to it. What you also want to consider when you are applying for colleges is to really look into any loans or scholarships that might be available to you. I, for example, went to Fisher College after I went to Northeastern. I was a Husky for a little while. The reason I left Northeastern University was because the tuition was just too much for me. So I got out of school for about a year, and then I went back to Fisher College. Now, I'm not the studious type. However, when I made the decision to go back to school, I realized that this is a financial decision as well. So one of the first things I looked into is, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to get money, right? We're all looking for how to get money. After I went through my first semester, I went down to the registrar's office and I asked if there's anything besides loans. Are there any scholarships? Because my big sister from the Big Brother Big Sister program, shout out to them, she told me about a variety of different scholarships that you can get if you just look into them. So one of the things I did was, I went to the registrar's office and I asked about any scholarships available for female, minority, black, fashion, because I was going to school for fashion and business management. At first, they would not let me know about any of these scholarships. However, as I kept asking additional questions, the registrar finally decided to say, well, your GPA has to be at a certain level. I said, okay, what is that? And that was 2.8. I don't know if that's across the board for all schools, but for myself, 2.8 is not very high, and therefore, I was actually able to apply for this scholarship, which in turn gave me a good $5,000 towards food, towards books, and then towards some of my online classes. So I would encourage you all very much so to check into scholarships, check into any grants, and then look into the loans. Because the loans is one thing that you don't really want to be paying back for the next 20 years of your life. And then because of the interest, if you fall behind or you need to go into delinquency or you need to defer, that can really, really, really put a damper on your wallet. And it makes it difficult for you to maintain the status that you were trying to maintain, which was the reason why you went to college. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut to a PSA. And when we come back, we're going to see if we can live watch some of what's going on in Washington, D.C., the Million Man March. We'll be right back.
I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed our lives.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
I'm a prisoner of words unsaid. Just lonely feelings locked away in my head. I trap myself further every time I stay quiet. I should start to speak, but I stop and stay silent. And now I've made my own hard bed inside this prison of words unsaid. POW, that's what I am. Not a prisoner of war, a prisoner of words. Mostly I say what you want to hear. Could you take it if I came clear, or would you rather just see me stoned on a drug of complacency and compromise? MIA, guess that's what I am. Scraping this cold, hard earth for a piece of myself, for peace in myself. It'd be easier if you just put me in jail, you know. If you locked me away, I'd have someone to blame. But these bars of steel are of my making. They surround my mind and have me shaking. My hands are cuffed behind my back. I'm a prisoner of the worst kind, in fact. I'm a prisoner of compromise, a prisoner of compassion, a prisoner of kindness, a prisoner of expectation, a prisoner of my youth. Run too fast to be old. I've forgotten what I was told. Ain't eyesight to behold. A prisoner of age, dying to be young. To my head is my hand with a gun, and it's cold and it's hard, because there's nowhere to run where you've caged yourself by holding your tongue. I'm a prisoner of words unsaid. Just lonely feelings locked away in my head. It's like solitary confinement. Every time I stay quiet, I should start to speak, but I stop and stay silent. And now I've made my own hard bed inside this prison of words unsaid.
I hope you all enjoyed that 2-minute performance by the 4-Star Dance Studio young people. And like I said, I actually wanted to make sure that we spoke and found out more about what's going on in Washington, D.C. 10/10/15. I noticed as I was watching the news that there's no mainstream coverage of this event. However, if you go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, you'll be able to find either live feed or you'll be able to find individuals posting in reference to it. What is Justice Arouse? Justice Arouse, the way it's been explained to me, is the world recognizing the mishaps that have happened to all people of color throughout the decades. And the justice is government, legislature, laws being created or changed to protect the individuals, to protect the citizens and to protect the Americans. I just want to go back and explain to all of the young people out there that America is a melting pot. It's a melting pot of a variety of different people that have come to this land and habitat, and they built their habitat. It initially started with Europeans coming to land that was already habitated by Native Americans, and we all know the story behind that. However, the pre-story of the Native Americans and the Europeans that had came, the pre-story is there were a lot of treaties and peace agreements that were made to help the land flourish with new people that were coming in and, hoping to cultivate and vitalize the community, which was there. Going forward decades, you had a variety of different nationalities, whether they were Irish coming in, Scottish coming in, Italian coming in, Asian coming in, Hispanic coming in, to a land that was already habitated, if that's a word. Someone can correct me later. And now there are laws that predate a lot of the situations that have happened. I've found out that there's actually a law that allows people to kill an individual, and it's considered a mistake. And that law is still on the books. And if you go to my website, I'll actually have the link so that you can read up on that law as well. There's also laws against hate groups, such as the KKK group or terrorist groups that choose to attack civilians or citizens of America. There's a law that actually allows the citizens to protect themselves from hate groups, which is particularly why a lot of hate crimes are really, really focused on, and there's high punishment, and there's just high determination to make sure that hate crimes do not exist. Those things are predated to 2015, okay? Now, speaking again back into justice or else, this is an opportunity for a group of people to congregate and protest and stand for laws to change, for respect amongst all citizens. And I just wanted you all to kind of go over there and see what's going on. So let's take a look.
And with the leadership of Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I'm pleased to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters.
All right, thank you very much. We are now going to hear from representatives for the Palestinian community. We all know him very well, and that is the Reverend Jeremiah Wright, Professor Emeritus at Trinity College, United Church of Christ. And he will be joined by my sister in the Justice League, and that is Linda Sarsour, a national Arab American racial justice and civil rights activist. Let us welcome Reverend Wright and Sister Sarsour.
Assalamu alaikum to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, to our hosts, to our sisters and brothers. We are grateful to God to be able to be here and to speak a word on behalf of Palestinian justice. Those who put this program together just had the Aboriginal people, the original people of this country, on this platform. And that was so powerful for this reason. They came here to remind us of the fact that this was their country before the Europeans decided that their God had given them this country. The same issue is being fought today and has been fought since 1948 And historians would carry it back to the 19th century. Biblical historians would carry it back to the book of Judges, where the original people, the Palestinians, and please remember, Jesus was a Palestinian. The Palestinian people have had the Europeans come and take their country, ignoring United Nations resolutions after resolution after resolution, over 40 resolutions in illegally occupied territories, as they take the people whose countries it is and make it theirs because their God told them that they could have somebody else's country. The youth in Ferguson and the youth in Palestine have united together to remind us that the dots need to be connected. That what Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, has implications for us as we stand beside our Palestinian brothers and sisters who have been done one of the most egregious injustices in the 20th and 21st centuries. Boycott, divestment, and sanction is how we fought nonviolently to bring an end to apartheid in South Africa. Apartheid is going on in Palestine as we sit here. There's an apartheid wall being built twice the size of the Berlin Wall in height, keeping Palestinians off of illegally occupied territories where the Europeans have claimed that land as their own. Dr. Martin Luther King said in 1967 at the Riverside Church, "We are fighting a three-headed demon," and manifestations of that demon have been seen today and are seen not only on this stage but on the world stage with the Native Americans from this country, the Native Americans in Central America, the Native Americans called Mexican in Guatemala, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Haiti, the natives who see foreigners coming in and taking their land. He said we're fighting a three-headed, Dr. King did, a three-headed demon: racism, militarism, and capitalism. Those three-headed demons are what are causing the Palestinians to have a fight just like the fight we're having here, trying to get people to understand that Black lives matters. Palestinians are saying Palestinian lives matters. We stand with you, we support you, we say God bless you. Justice.
In the name of God, the most beneficial, the most merciful, Assalamu alaikum, may peace be upon you. I am a Palestinian Muslim American. I have the blood of an oppressed people, a resilient people, a strong people, a courageous people that runs through my veins. I am here, sisters and brothers, to speak truth to power. We are here to speak truth to power. We are one, sisters and brothers, and our liberation is bound up together. The same people who justify the massacres of Palestinian people and call it collateral damage are the same people who justify the murder of Black young men and women. The same people who want to deport millions of undocumented immigrants are the same people who hate Muslims and want to take our right to worship freely in this country. That common enemy, sisters and brothers, is white supremacy. Let's call it what it is. We're not here to make people feel comfortable. I'm tired of people asking us what the else is, justice or else. You wouldn't have to ask that question if we already had justice. We are angry, sisters and brothers. Don't let them ask you why you're angry. Ask them, why are they not angry? 20 years ago, millions came to this mall.
When they discuss justice or else and what is or else, from what I understand, it's in reference to finances and where the money is going to be going, which is why I'd like to encourage you all to make sure that you are supporting your local businesses, your local small businesses, and larger businesses. But I'd like you to actually meet an entrepreneur here in New England area. This is Jamil from Lace Boston. Jamil, why don't you come on out? Hi, how are you? Give me a hug. It's okay. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
First, everything's busy, busy, busy. I know you're super busy. You guys just moved from a location on Tremont Street to your Mass Ave location.
Yeah.
How is that?
It's been an interesting process. We actually moved from Columbus Ave to Mass Ave, which is changed such a dramatic change, a lot more visible, a lot more people walk in, get a lot more foot traffic, which in turn equals more business.
Yes.
And you know, we are always doing community events. We've had lots of free meet and greets. Just recently, we had a really big one with Young Thug. And
you guys are known for doing that.
Yeah, that's
You're
kind of
known
our
for
claim to
having a
fame.
lot of like in-store events too.
Yeah, that's kind of our claim to fame. I feel if other people might have a one-up on getting exclusive product or getting some, you know, but we get the musicians, we get them early, and we let people. LACE is actually an acronym for Living and Creating Experiences Daily. So
Wait a minute, say that one more time.
Living and Creating Experiences Daily. So we live by that, and we try to create these intangible experiences.
Wow, I love that. And as a entrepreneur, you had to figure out, okay, how am I going to make my niche? How am I going? Well, before we go there, are you originally from Boston?
I am. I was born and raised in Boston, born at Brigham and Women's Hospital, not too far away from here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you imagine that you were going to be an entrepreneur when you were younger? Is this something you aspired to?
But I think a lot of it was inert. My father was a business owner. He owned several businesses on Dudley Street. One of them was somewhat similar to a Men's Warehouse. It was fine men's suits.
Nice.
And I grew up playing under the mannequins and under the clothing rack. So here I am 20 years later and doing the same thing. Yeah. Who would know?
Imagine that. As a young person, we never know what we're going to turn into, but we covet what we see.
Right.
So as an entrepreneur and finding your niche and how to compete with even large businesses like Nike, the Nike store, how did you make that plan? How did you create that plan?
It was a lot of trial and error, to be honest with you. You try this and that doesn't really work, then you move on and you try something else. And I think we've landed in a good place. We are a sneaker reseller. So if you find a Jordan if you're looking for a Jordan or a shoe that's really limited edition, most likely we would have it.
Nice.
So we specialize in trying to keep really rare shoes and sneakers in stock.
Yes. Now, I have to understand the whole sneaker world because it's crazy.
Right.
Like, it is a little crazy.
A lot of selection.
A lot of selection. The kids want it.
Right.
It's like one of the most popular things. And a lot of them are hobby collectors. Like, they don't even wear the sneakers sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. There's sneakers that can be valued up to $15,000.
Wow.
You're probably not going to wear a $15,000 shoe because it would lose some value.
Yes.
So yeah, if in a brand new condition, they're actually worth more than they are worn. But the amazing thing about it is it can create an entrepreneur out of anyone.
Yes.
So for an example, I'll give you a young gentleman who just started to get into the sneaker game, and he'll go to Foot Locker and he'll wait an hour, 2 hours, maybe overnight if he has to get this really coveted sneaker release. Once he has that sneaker release that he purchased at retail price, he can in turn bring it to Laced, and we'll sell it for him in a consignment-based business, and he'll make money from it.
Wow.
Yeah, we're your sneaker real estate broker.
Wow.
Yeah, so you bring us your property and we sell it for you.
Okay. Again, I just want to briefly bounce back to the justice or else. So what I understand from the or else is almost an opportunity for people of color, okay? There's over 3.5 million, and we've got money to spend. And many times we end up spending our money in large corporations such as Nike or such as, you know,
Right.
any of these larger retailers.
Yeah.
And we're essentially saying the or else is really to start working with small business owners and putting our money back into the community. So as an individual, as a small business owner, how important is it that the residents are shopping with you?
Right, it is. It's very important. I mean, without them, you know, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to be open next month or pay our rent. So, and I feel like with the way our business is structured, is that we can give back. You know, I have people who drop off, you know, $2,000 worth of sneakers and pick up $2,700 and you know, in a check, in a check once the stuff gets sold. So, you know, we're giving them an opportunity to make some money. At the same time, they're giving us a product to sell that we can make money from, so which keeps my inventory costs down. So it really is a give and take, and we help each other.
And you're essentially offering business skills to some of these young people too, because I'm sure they never would have imagined of doing something like that.
Well, that's what the subculture of the sneaker collecting has become. You collect and you have, and you get to have cool stuff, but you can also trade this stuff in for a little bit more, or sell it for a little bit more than what you paid for it.
Yeah, instead of flipping houses, you're flipping sneakers.
Right, or instead of flipping drugs, you're flipping sneakers.
Absolutely.
Which is the way I look at it, because some of the children that I grew up with and some of the friends that I had didn't have the opportunity to sell anything else. So I feel like being able to sell something that's legal and you can be proud of it, and it's still something you love, is a good thing.
I love that you mentioned that, because that plays with education, that plays with giving the young people something to do and something to learn, and really steering them away from, like you said, selling illegal merchandise.
Yeah, you can see that.
And selling legal
exactly.
merchandise.
You see that you have the opportunity to sell legal merchandise, and you know that entices you to want a little bit more. You say, well, you know, maybe I can sell 2 pairs next week or 10 pairs next month, and aspiring them to. I've had lots of young people tell me that, you know, they'd like to open a business like mine, and I tell them go for it, because, you know, I didn't have that, anyone telling me go for it.
Let everyone know where Laced Boston's located.
So Laced is located at 426 Massachusetts Ave. It's on the corner of Columbus and Mass Ave, and really convenient to the Mass Ave Orange Line T-stop.
And we've got to actually come into the store. We want to go into the store, and I need you to explain the sneaker game to me.
Right.
Because I am not a sneaker. I am a sneaker person.
Okay.
I'm an Adidas person now, but I wear a lot of like heels.
Okay.
But you're gonna have to explain to us, the audience, the sneaker game.
Right.
Okay.
We will.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do a segment just on sneakers and explaining the sneakers to you and your audience. That'd be nice. It would take a little bit of time. It's almost like a study book.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut to a brief PSA. When we come back, you guys will get a chance to meet Catherine Yang and the fashion event that she had over at the Harborside Inn. We'll be right back.
Should not exist, because the reason why mistakes should not exist, because we correct them. Mr. Leonard Lee of the National Park Service. When I thank people, I fail to mention his name. He was one of the original people who helped to do this and help us to get here, and he was been marvelous.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
I wanted to ask you, why do you love fashion?
I love the different colors, and I also love when people put on fashion shows. It brings the community together. We're all united, and we're all in sync as one because we all have a common interest, which is fashion. And it's great to go to events and you see people all dressed up, almost like going to Cinderella's ball, I would say, but more like a fashionista ball. That's why I love fashion. Hi, my name is Kat Yang for Accessory Diary Productions. I am the director and president of the organization. I would like to invite you to my fall fashion show during Boston Fashion Week. For more information, please visit my blog at accessorydiary79@blogspot.com, and I hope to see you there.
I know you like me, cause you see what I'm doing. Oh, cause my swag is official, and this body's a missile. I don't wanna kill you, baby, yeah. Cause I'm so fly, baby, oh my,
Bye, Timid. I know it's crazy. Fabulous.
And if you don't mind, baby, if baby, put a little work and spell on you. I feel the fever rushing through my body. It feels so good.
Hi everybody, welcome to Falling for Fashion. I am Amy Palmacci. I am the vendor coordinator for the show. So we are having a show tonight, so come on out and see us. It's going to be an awesome start to Boston Fashion Week.
I'm trying to feel all up on your waist. Pretty hypnotizing, driving you crazy. Run up on it like a freeway. Hey, it's not exciting. It's so tricky, so much fun. And I'm dancing away. I feel so high.
Ladies urban wear, and it's actually an acronym meaning for New York Children's Health Development Authority. I donate a portion to all children's charities. It's fashion with compassion.
Would you like to let everybody know your website information?
Jarfet, so it's www.jarfet.com.
Justice or else. What does that mean? Everywhere I go, ask me, what does that mean? I mean, what do you mean, what does it mean? Haven't you seen what I see on that screen for yourself? We need justice. Then they say, yeah, we need justice, but what you mean by or else? Well, we mean justice or else we're gonna withhold our wealth. We're gonna give them back their Christmas and leave them toys on that shelf. You see, up to this point, we the only ones being slain, so it's time to exercise our power and redistribute that pain. It's insane to do the same thing and expect a different result. The same ones who made us slaves is the ones we keep asking for help. Now ask yourself, how you gonna win fighting in the court when the ones who commit the murders is the ones who write the reports? All the lives we done lost, the tears we done cried, the promises was made, all the years they done lied. Ain't you tired of being tired or hearing one of us died and whoever killed them ain't guilty or don't even get tried? Cops don't even get fired for choking us on camera, but we worried about Black Friday and taking pictures with Santa. You can't expect respect when you don't respect yourself. When the ones sit to protect and serve don't protect, you gotta protect yourself. You can't expect no one else to love you more than you, so that means that or else is totally up to you. What you willing to sacrifice so your kid can have a life? Let's take Christmas from Santa Claus and give it back to Christ. And we ain't asking nice, it's a demand. This ain't a march, we gon' stand. Man, woman, child, together, hand in hand. Cause we understand the facts of the matter, so we can't say all lives until Black lives matter, but Black lives gotta matter to Black people. And the facts is, Blacks kill most of the Black people, but the difference, when they kill us, they don't let it slide. You see, Ray Ray found guilty before he even get tried. 10-15, the government is on notice. You're not gonna keep killing us and have us fill up your quotas, giving us jail records instead of diplomas. That 40 acres and a mule, we gonna need what you owe us, or else.
All right.
Thank you everyone for watching Boss Lady News. Please make sure that you follow up with any of those individuals that did go to Black Lives Matter, the Million Man March in Washington, D.C. Make sure they're okay. Make sure that everything that we're trying to put forward from this march actually continues to happen. We're going to go ahead and let the last 5 minutes run through right now. We're going to do a freestyle from Talia. So I'm going to let her go ahead and take it away.
Ballistic beats.
Escape the pain. I said a woman like that shoulda never shed a tear, and I gave her my name. I told her come my way, please don't be ashamed. Put my finger on her chin to lift her head up, then I started to say, listen, I know your heart's been broken. With me those days are over. Don't worry about them dudes in the past. I got the kind of loving that was built to last. They don't know a good thing when they got it. Had the game winner in their hands and they dropped it. You ain't gotta cry no more. I got the kind of love to keep you safe or secure. I gotta lie. She likes it, she likes it, she likes it. When I make her say, yeah. She likes it, she likes it, she likes it. Cause my love is here to stay. You got that good loving, fresh out the oven. Mug upon a girl, cause them can't tell you nothing, yo. You the baddest and it's obvious, you are the prime like Optimus, you are the tip-topper, name run rocker, scene locker, bossy girl flapper. Swat turn up your heart till it burn up. Any girl will chat to you, you have the one up. Inna the party straight till sun up.
As you all know, I love to have performances on the show, especially closing out the show. Today we're going to have members of the 4-Star Dance Studio. Miss Key here is going to let you all know a little more about that.
Hi, my name is Kalisha Chance. I'm representing the 4-Star Dance Studio. This is the 4-Star Dance Company. We're located at 614 Blue Hill Ave, and these are the dancers.
Raquel, Sierra, Juliana, Patrice, Lene, Zaria,
Selena,
Taylor,
Katansia,
Kaylani,
Janaea,
Alicia,
Sparkle,
Talia,
Narissa,
Kaya, Maya, Niara,
Amina.
talking about. Justice or else. We're now keeping with the hip-hop community, going to bring a young brother who is a former inmate. He spent 5 years in prison. He actually works for the Honorable Cora Master Berry right now. This young man picked up a book called The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. And now, while he was in prison, he picked that book up and it changed his life. And today, he is a doctoral candidate in the African American Studies Department at Howard University. Let's give it up for my brother, Anton House.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I am Anton House. I graduated with my bachelor's in 2011. I obtained my master's in 2013. And despite my growth and accomplishments, I'm still a convicted felon. I represent one out of the millions of returning citizens who are a part of the mass incarceration racket in the most industrialized nation in the world, where in urban communities, Black and Latino men and women walk out of their homes each morning with the possibility of being politically disenfranchised. Show of hands, how many convicted felons do we have in the audience today? How many people do we have whose families incarcerated are waiting trial right now? This is the reason why we need a national campaign for felony expungement. See, growing up as a 12th Street gangster disciple in Racine, Wisconsin, I struggled to adhere to my organization's literature, which adhered to 6 principles: education, economics, politics, social development, organization, and unity, with education being the most important. And from creating fellowship with other brothers who were vice lords, I learned of their 5 principles of love, peace, freedom, truth, and justice. We all knew these terms and ideas, but we did not have a positive outlet to show them how to use them in our volatile urban conditions. Now as an adult, I understand the importance of these ideas. They were not created to be divisive. They were not created for us to terrorize our communities with. They were created for us to enhance us as human beings and solidify us as groups. Currently, I'm in the process of attaining my doctoral degree from Howard University, the same history department that teaches the responsibility of scholar activism and community responsibility. On the subject of Black in the academy, I am constantly reminded of the words of our ancestor Malik Al-Haj Shabazz, who asked, "What do you call an educated Negro with a BA or an MA, with the BS or a PhD?" The answer, nigger, because that's what the white man calls him, a nigger. I was a nigger without a PhD, now I'm a nigger with a PhD. What's the difference? Self-knowledge. If an individual has no knowledge of self, the degrees they obtain, all of their accolades, the balls they bounce or the balls they run, will be of no progress to their people. They will be of no progress to their people if they do not have self-knowledge. So what I want y'all to take away from here today is the only way that we accomplish and whatever we establish, the only way we'll be able to keep it is if our value system is rooted in